Hi, welcome to another Hotel Tales What's Your Story chat series. The word transformation is synonymous with the Sunway Group. From the time the founder and chairman of the group transforms a wasteland to a water theme park to what it is today, a premier entertainment and hospitality destination in Malaysia, this township has never stopped transforming to become better and more relevant to its customers. Joining us today in our chat series to discuss transformation in hotels is Mr. Alex Castaldi, the Senior General Manager of Sunway Resort. Alex joined Sunway's Hospitality Division in 2017 as General Manager for the Banjaran Hot Springs Retreat in Ipoh. Alex brings with him more than 15 years of experience in the luxury hospitality industry, particularly in managing upscale boutique resorts. In his current role as Senior General Manager, Alex is responsible for the hotel operations within Sunway City that includes the 5-star Sunway Resort and the 4-star Sunway Pyramid Hotel and Sunway Clio Hotel, with a total combined rooms of 1,480. And this is located within the integrated township of Sunway City, Kuala Lumpur. He also oversees the strategic initiatives and developments at the Banjaran Hot Spring Retreat. Prior to Sunway, Alex was the Area General Manager at the Kupu Kupu Resorts, managing a collection of luxury resorts in Seminyak, Jimbaran and Ubud in Bali, as well as overseeing a villa retreat on the island of Koh Phangan in the Gulf of Thailand. He had also served in general management capacities with Thailand's Kalara International Properties, the Shangri-La Mactan Resort in Philippines, the Akarin Resort in Koh Samui, Thailand, and numerous senior rooms division role at the Anantara Rasananda at Koh Phangan, Dubai's Avant-Garde Desert Palm Per Aquam, Banyan Tree in Seychelles, Madinat Jumeirah Mina Al Salam in Dubai, and Hilton Hotel in Rome. An Italian national with a diploma in Commerce Studies from the Institute of Commerce Studies in Lucia, Cagliari, Alex will discuss with us today the transformation journey of Sunway Hotels and Resorts. Let's chat with Alex and find out what's his story. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to another Hotel Tales What's Your Story chat series. Alex Castaldi, the Senior General Manager of Sunway Resort, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, everybody, and Hanley, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. I see so many personalities in Malaysia taking part. So very good to meet you and to meet your audience as well. Thank you.
Good. Alex, Bandar Sunway or Sunway City is constantly being transformed. In the early days, it was transformed from a wasteland to now a well-known integrated resort. From an initial 400-room Sunway Lagoon Resort Hotel, now it's close to 1,500-room hotel cluster in Bandar Sunway. Tell us, Alex, how has Sunway Hotels transformed or evolved ever since it started?
I think, like you rightfully pointed out, Hanley, we've gone, to put it with Lee Kuan Yew words, from wasteland to wonderland. And I think the vision of our chairman, of course, is to continue to evolve and always in pursuit of excellence in all the activities that we do. Like you rightfully said, we started with 400 odd rooms to reach about 1,500 room inventory today, together with a convention center that is able to accommodate over 6,000 people. And we actually recently renovated all of the ballrooms and meeting facilities in Sunway Resort. They were just about ready a year ago. And now we have really state-of-the-art facilities for MICE, incentive, and corporate travelers. And that coupled together with the convention center and the amount of room inventory that we have, of course, has made of Sunway City, Kuala Lumpur, an ideal destinations for all sorts lots of travelers. And in fact, Hanley, that's precisely the direction that we've decided to go going forward, is really to market and position amazing Sunway City, Kuala Lumpur as Asia premier hospitality and event entertainment destination of Kuala Lumpur.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. Alex, for the benefit of our audience, can you please define the various hotels that is available in Sunway City? We know for a fact Sunway Lagoon Resort Hotel, later on it changed to Sunway Resort Hotel and Spa, and now you call it Sunway Resort. Tell us about this transformation journey.
Yeah, I think, Hanley, as everybody, I think, is adapting to the new technologies and to the use of social media, digitalization. And I think one very important factors of this is the fact that everything with the digitalization tends to become a little bit simpler, a little bit easier to be understood by everybody, right? I always tell all my staff as well, think about, we need to manage now to put a logo in a very small square that is readable in Facebook or that is readable in Instagram, that can reach millions of people. So it's very, very important that when we think about transforming our operations, we don't do so only like we used to do in the past, right? But that we really bring also all our commercial elements, things like the logo, right? It doesn't anymore need to look good also, but it needs to fit into certain criteria so that people can read it, that people can see it, that people can use it, right? So I think precisely to go into that direction and start to meet all of these criteria, we also thought that, having a very, very long name is not anymore something that fits necessarily what we want to do, right? And also what people want to see. So that's why I think a shorter version makes things a lot more easier, give a very good idea, a very good feel of what we want to do in Sunway Resort. Sunway Resort, like the words itself says, right? It's a resort hotel where guests are able to find top-of-the-art facilities when it comes to entertainment, leisure, but also state-of-the-art facilities for business travelers. And I think, of course, our Sunway Resort is the 5-star hotel, is the flagship not only of Sunway City Kuala Lumpur, but of Sunway Group in general. And like we like to call it, is the most prized hospitality asset of the group. And of course, we have gone all out to make sure that the transformation that we are bringing about with the refurbishment, this once in a generation really transformation, which is costing us close to $60 million US, will be exactly in the direction to position Sunway Resort at the very top of the best hotels, not only in Malaysia, but in the region. Right then, of course, we have two other hotels, which are Sunway Clio and Sunway Pyramid Hotel. Obviously, Sunway Pyramid Hotel is positioned really at the heart of Sunway City, very, very close to Sunway Resort Hotel. I like to describe it a little bit like the corporate wing and the supportive hotel to Sunway Resort, because as I said, we have this very big vocation towards MICE and big groups, given the number of rooms that we have in Sunway City, Kuala Lumpur. And obviously we need a supporting hotel to Sunway Resort that is able to accommodate guests also at different entry-level prices, right? And when we have conventions, Sunway Pyramid is just the ideal place to stay together with main hotel, to actually being able to cross the hotel, whether your meetings are in Sunway Resort or they are in the convention center, and you are straight in the mall, in the shopping mall. So it's really, really a good location for businessmen and people joining our Sunway City Kuala Lumpur for groups. While Clio is located at the west side of the city, is also a hotel that can cater Hanley both to leisure travelers as well as corporate travelers. And I think it's this sort of dynamicity, if you like, that makes us also successful. We don't like to build hotels that are really only good to do one thing, because as you know now, travelers have all sorts of requirements when they travel, and we want to sort of try and cater to all of those. So you will always see that our hotels are always very well built. They are very comfortable, no matter the class in where they sit. And I think when we will be ready with the launch of the new resort hotel, we are really very confident that we will set a new benchmark for Malaysia hospitality. At least this is our aim. And I think as a local corporation, as a local company, we take a lot of pride to do things to also show the world that Malaysian companies and Sunway can do things in a very big way.
Right. I think Alex very well said and very well defined about Sunway Resort. But Alex, with the current unpredictable market conditions due to the pandemic, a lot of things seems very uncertain. Some say this is the best time to renovate and make improvements to the asset, whilst others think that this is the time to conserve resources and cut all spending. You obviously took the former strategy. Yeah, you said you just spent $16 million US. Of course, this is a good time because opportunity lost during this period is at its minimum. So what's your take on this, and when do you anticipate the market to rebound?
All right, Hanley, you as you rightfully said, I think when we are in situations like this, and obviously we were confronted with very difficult decisions to make too, right? And I think there is no right or wrong, right? And I think it very much depends also from the particular situation the single hotel may be into at the particular time, right? Obviously, for Sunway Resort, we were very much due for a renovation anyhow, because, you know, as I said, this is once in a generation transformation. Is the first real refurbishment in 25 years of history of Sunway Resort Hotel. So I think, like you said, we chose to go with the former. It is because we saw the opportunity of cutting losses a lot higher than actually conserving, because, you know, we know very well, Hanley, you know, I think the world has gone through a lot of crisis, and I think while we need to be prudent, and trust me, we have introduced millions of austerity measures. I think all hoteliers have learned every inch of the hotels a lot better than they have done ever in the past, because we had to conserve, and we are conserving. But at the same time, for a 25 years old hotel, we also saw the opportunity that when things come back, they will come back in a very big way, because I think there is a massive need for people wanting to travel, and people will travel. People did so after September 11. People did so after any big event that we have gone through in the past, and we have learned that our industry is ever so resilient. So in fact, Hanley, we are very confident that while at the moment we have to tighten our belt, and trust me, we are, you know, all hoteliers are putting up with salary cut and having to really look at their monies, you know, and all the things that can get you through such terrible times. Let's not hide behind the finger. It's tough, but we are also looking at the future. And you know, the thing that we didn't want to have was, imagine in 2022, potentially beginning of 2023, when things really will come back, and you still have a very old hotel that by then will be even 3 years older, and probably would have been even run down during these 2 years of sort of inactivity. Actually, we would have probably lost a very big opportunity. And I think we also are very confident, Hanley, that with all what we have in Sunway City, Kuala Lumpur, actually we will be one of the destination for travelers to visit in Malaysia. And you know, we are not doing so only in the hotel business, only. We are expanding our hospital, you know, our Sunway Medical Center. I think in a year time will be the biggest private hospital in Malaysia with over 700 beds. I think so. I think we are looking at the growth of Sunway City, Kuala Lumpur holistically, not just one portion of it. And we are very confident that, you know, with the base of being, you know, the place where our Sunway University is, we are home to the Jeffrey Sachs Sustainability Center. You know, we have Monash University on site. We are building more and more office spaces. We are expanding our shopping mall. I think we are really working very hard and not worrying so much about what is happening today, because this is a transitional thing and we'll have to pass. And the good thing is, in some way, being a conglomerate, we are very strong financially. We can, of course, mitigate those losses this year, and then hopefully being ready for when things come back. Hopefully, Hanley, to answer your last part of the question about when business will come back, well, $1 million question, really. But we believe that when the vaccine will start to being implemented, maybe towards beginning of March, and then progressively all the way until the end of the year, we will possibly see some improvements, maybe in Q3, Q4 of this year, but still probably a lot of domestic travel and maybe a few travel bubbles here and there. But the real recovery, I think, let's be honest, we'll probably look at 2022, really.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So with this refurbishment, what can we expect to see when Sunway Resort reopens for business in the next few months?
Everything you have never seen, Hanley. We like to say, as I say, is an entire transformation. I think for those who have been following our social media and our updates that we've been posting from time to time, as I said, our first priority, Hanley, when we started to think about this transformation, was to really answer a few questions as to who are the customers that visit Sunway City Kuala Lumpur, and what are our customers, what are those customers expecting from Sunway City Kuala Lumpur. But more importantly, Hanley, was also to answer the question, we want new customers to come to Sunway City Kuala Lumpur. We want to start to attract also a complete new clientele to Sunway City Kuala Lumpur that maybe has not really been here in the past, because our hotel, as I said quite honestly, was a little bit dated. And with so many new hotels opening all the time, if you don't keep up with your software as well as your hardware, then there are very high chances that you are bound to lose very big chunk of markets potentially. So when we started to look at all these questions, right, that we wanted to answer, obviously being our flagship, being a luxury hotel, we want to go after that segment of market. And to go after that segment of market, obviously you need to build a product that is able to make that market segment happy. And that's why, we are working very hard with our designing team to come up with an incredible set of facilities. You will see already from the moment you step in the lobby, for example, right? In the past, you have been accustomed to enter in Sunway Resort, and you would have been welcomed by a very long counter and a sort of traditional check-in sort of service, right? But now after the transformation, we have created separate desk for a much more personalized experience when you arrive at Sunway Resort, and that will mark also a difference with your experience when you check in, for example, in Sunway Pyramid or in Sunway Clio. So guests that expect to have a better service or a more luxurious service rather, then they will find that in Sunway Resort. I think also, the fact that we are going very, very high in our commitment to improving our food and beverage offering is also one very important point. Hanley, I think in Sunway hotels here in Sunway City, Kuala Lumpur, in the past, we have always, if you like, a little bit delegated the food and beverage to our shopping mall. And maybe, it was right so at the time, we have over 200 F&B outlets within the shopping mall. Right. But then I always thought as well that, at least from the background I come from, I love food and beverage, and I always believe that there is no good hotels without a good food and beverage outlet. Let's be honest. Yeah. All the best hotels in the world are also the best hotel in the world because they have always some very, very good restaurants in their hotels. And I think Sunway Resort should have not been any different from that. Right. But at the same time, Hanley, we didn't want to be obvious We didn't want to do what everybody is doing. And we were trying to do something that was really a game changer. We really wanted to bring something new, not only in Sunway Resort, but in Malaysia in general. I think Malaysia in general is in need of unique proposition to attract more and more tourists from all over the world. And I think the choice of Gordon Ramsay went exactly into that direction. And also, again, to show the commitment of Sunway Hospitality and Sunway Group to really position our township, our Sunway City Kuala Lumpur as a premier Asia destination. You know better than me, right? Whereas Gordon Ramsay has restaurants, right? He has restaurants in Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. He has restaurants in Venetian in Macau, or Caesar Palace in Las Vegas, or Atlantis the Palm in Dubai. Well, Hanley, it may be a tall order, but that's my vision for Sunway City Kuala Lumpur, and we want to rival the very best in the world. So to do that, we also need to work with the best people in the world.
Right. No, I must congratulate you, for the latest inclusion of this Gordon Ramsay restaurant. I think
we are delighted.
It is very much publicized, and I think the whole market is really looking forward to its opening. And congratulations to you and your team. Alex, I just want also to ask you also, how are you catering to the millennials and the Gen Zs whose travel needs and demands are actually quite different, as they are now transitioning from a product and service-driven economy to an experiential one? They want to experience something. I mean, Gordon Ramsay is a good example for them to experience a new level of restaurant. But what else are you doing to cater to this new segment?
Okay, Hanley, this is a very good question that also helps me promoting a lot of other services that we are introducing in our all-new Sunway Resort for when we reopen. Well, first of all, I think there is a question to answer in terms of technology and digitalization, right? We know that, first of all, the new people have got a very, very big interest in all these new technologies, right? And actually, together with all the services the more traditional services, if you like, and that we're introducing in our Sunway City Kuala Lumpur, I like to say that our digital and technology revolution that we are bringing in Sunway Resort is of very, very high standards. In fact, Hanley, we are working together with our subsidiary Sunway Digital Wave, and we are building a super app that I very much believe is the first of its kind in Malaysia, at least, which will actually be able to really give travelers a sort of one-stop shop application that will be able to do stuff from, of course, booking your room, remotely checking in, but also opening the door of your rooms, or having the control of all your room facilities on your phone. Imagine sitting at the pool and wanting to on and off your aircon remotely, or being in the room and using your mobile phone instead of a remote control, or using it for on off the light or open the curtains. So there will be a myriad really of opportunities for millennials to get very, very happy and creative with all these technologies that we are introducing in Sunway Resort. And this is, I think, something very important, Hanley, because it also helps going into the direction of sustainability. Because, of course, it will avoid a lot of paper. It will make processes a lot simpler, coupled with this, Hanley, also we will create a complete paperless experience. We are working with a Japanese provider that will give us basically check-in tablets for each of our counters at the reception, and basically guests will be able to sign and fill in registration cards digitally and sign the bill digitally, and all of that will then be able to be sent to them via email, eliminating most of the paper use that we have. Obviously, we still have to have a few printers here and there, Hanley, if guests so wish to receive it. But by and large, I think we are trying to eliminate all of that. In fact, Hanley, we are also eliminating, for example, all of our laundry bags. I always say to our people, right? I will take just a few seconds to explain this in a little details, because I always like to remember my times when I used to work as an housekeeping boy, right? At 16 years of age. And I always remember, in every hotel, when you go and collect laundry, of course, the guests will take your laundry bag, fill it with their laundry, and then they generally have to fill up a laundry form, right? So that on the form, they would describe all of the items that have inserted in the bag, right? So, but technically, when the housekeeping boy goes into the room, then he needs to empty the bag before he leaves the room and making sure that all that's reflected on the paper is actually also in the bag. So then I say, why do we really need a bag? I say, we can put a very nice rattan basket in there. The guests can put it in there, fill up the form, and my housekeeping can then use a hotel bag that is made of linen or whatever material, and there is no so much use of laundry bag. If you think about, and Lee, just to give you some numbers, we have 1,500 room. 2 bags in every cupboard is 3,000 per day. And I can tell you, 3,000 per day, probably 70% of them are gone every day if the occupancy is 100%. So I think is exactly thinking into that direction, that we can make an impact at very many different levels. We are also looking now at soap, shampoo dispensers for our 4-star hotels with very good product, very good shampoo, but again, to try and eliminate the use of single plastic bottles, right? We are even looking at building our own bottling plant to eliminate all the plastic water bottles for every room. In fact, Ali, Sunway is one of the pioneers for sustainability in Malaysia and in the world. So our commitment is beyond imagination. We will do everything it takes to be not only a good profitable business, but in some way we believe that we can do well by doing good. And I think this philosophy is one that we embrace and we strive to achieve at all times.
Right.
In terms of experiences, and Lee, I want to go a step further because this is more about technology, sustainabilities, and things that we are doing for the community. But I think in terms of experiences as well, the guests can look forward to some amazing stuff. Think about, we are now building a whole new range of facilities for children. We will have a mini theme park that will be positioned on the 5th level of Sunway Resort Hotel, and we will have some suites that are overlooking this mini water park. You imagine booking one of these rooms and just 10 meters from your terrace, you have a mini theme park there for guests to enjoy. And all these rooms that we are building, Hanley, are built with family in mind. We will have children amenities. All the rooms have been created to be set up with large Hollywood twins bed, which can accommodate 2 adults and 2 children. And the next thing that we are doing in a commitment to go in the direction of pleasing families and attracting families to Sunway Resort is to build a brand new kids club that we call the Wonderland Kids Club. The reason why we called it the Wonderland Kids Club is actually precisely to tell the story that, this piece of land where we sit was once a wasteland that now became a wonderland. And Andy, we are not going to build your average kids club that you find in every or most of the hotels. We have actually been working very closely with our Sunway University and with the Jeffrey Sachs Center of Sustainability. And actually, we are creating program for children, and they will be able to have what we like to call a fun educational holiday. And they will be able to go through programs in our hotel where during the holiday, they can even spend some meaningful times and learn about things that will be useful for them. Additionally, we are fully renovating also our all-day dining outlet located by the poolside, which is called Fusion. Mm-hmm. And in this restaurant in future will also become the breakfast venue for our in-house guests. Will be located by the swimming pool area in a very, very nice sort of tropical setting, but will be with very vibrant colors. We wanted something really lively and colorful. And in this restaurant, we are designing a kids dedicated buffet where actually children will be able to go at the buffet and help themselves with the food that we will be providing, especially for them there at this buffet. And there will be dedicated dining tables and chairs for children alone, so that they can actually take care of their own breakfast, if you like, and actually mingle together with the other children. And even more, actually, our nutritionist team in Sunway Medical Center is helping draft menus that are not only tasty for the children, but also go into the direction of making sure that our children also have some sort of good and nutritious meals that are not only tasty but are also good for their health. Hanley, Malaysia, we know obesity, diabetes is one of the biggest issue in the country. And I think as a business, as I was saying before, doing well by doing good is possible. And again, this is one other example of us doing something that goes into that direction. And actually also within the Kids Club, there will be a few activities that also will teach the children how best look after their diet, right. But of course in a fun sort of way.
Yeah. Wow, Alex, you have given me a whirlwind tour of the whole Sunway Resort in a couple of minutes. I mean, I'm excited of what you're doing. And I think the audience, I'm sure they are all looking forward to this new resort being the new transformed resort that is going to be soon open. I congratulate you and your team for doing such a wonderful job for this Sunway Resort. That's all about the time that we have now, Alex. Yeah, I'm sorry that we have to go. And we have been watching Hotel Tales, What's Your Story Chat series, and we are talking with Alex Castaldi, the Senior General Manager of Sunway Resort. Thank you, Alex, once again for coming on to the show. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Amazing Sunway City, Kuala Lumpur.